My name is Eric, and I'm a master's student in the Coastal Science and Policy program at UC Santa Cruz. For my second year, we have a capstone project where we work on projects with practical applications. I'm working here in Santa Cruz County with the Land Trust of Santa Cruz County, and I'm working on several projects, but is trying to get some baseline information on nitrogen that is coming off of Beach Ranch and into the Watsonville Slough and Pajaro River, as well as some information on how much water is actually moving from the farm into the Watsonville Slough, which will be really helpful for future management of the site, especially as the Land Trust thinks about putting in new bioreactors. To get this baseline data, I have been going to Beach Ranch every other week. What I do when I come to the site is basically collect water samples, which I process later in the lab for ammonia and nitrate. And then I also have these loggers that detect every single time the motor turns on to pump water out. These two different data points, how much water, and then the concentration of nitrate and ammonia in the water, will give me the total nutrient load that's coming off the farm and entering the wetland. So what I'm doing in the lab is I am mixing a series of chemicals that will bind to nitrate or ammonia and give us like a color value for how much is present. Excess nitrogen in wetlands or in the ocean, it can cause these things called algal blooms, which when they die off, pulls a lot of oxygen out of the water, which can cause things to die off, like fish or kind of anything else that depends on oxygen. Bioreactors are a really cool solution because they're, for one, super effective in pulling out nitrate in the water, but they also are pretty passive. So the Bryant-Haber bioreactor is a pool full of wood chips that water is pushed through, and that is the system that sits there and processes all the water that comes out, and in the long term pulls out a lot of extra nutrients that would otherwise end up in the slough. The Land Trust is interested in creating more bioreactors to manage the agricultural runoff at Beach Ranch, and this information is pretty important baseline data for understanding what these bioreactors should look like in the future.